Hello everyone, this is Bill from CRCF Miguel. Today in this tutorial number 4, we will talk about how to set up array questions in LimeSurvey. Array questions can be used for setting up rating scales and Likert scales with multiple questions in LimeSurvey, and we will be using PCL5, the PTSD checklist for DSM-5 as an example here to show you how to set up array questions in LimeSurvey. PCL5 is a 20-item self-report measure that assesses the 20 DSM-5 symptoms of PTSD, and this scale was developed by the National Center for PTSD, and it's a very widely used scale. So today we're going to use it as an example. And on paper, it looks something like this. So today we'll try to set this up in LimeSurvey. And business as usual, we'll be using this practice survey here, Intro to LimeSurvey for CRCF, to continue to show you how to set up array questions. So because we are talking about array questions for scales, I'm going to add it as a new group. So I'm going to click here, add group. So here I'm going to call it scale and leave everything blank on this page and click Save and Close. So on the left hand side under Question Explorer, you will see that now a new group called Scale has been added, and there are currently no questions in this group. And now we can add new questions in this group by clicking this little plus sign right here. So first thing first, we need to assign a code, kind of variable name for this scale that we will be entering, which is PCL5. So I'm just going to call it PCL5. And right under here, question, you are not going to put all the different questions from PCL5, this scale. However, you will actually enter your instruction here. So here is where you enter your instructions. So the PCL5 instruction is as follows. Okay, so now I just copy and pasted the instruction right here in this box for PCL5, this scale. In order to make it comparable to the survey question, to the paper version of the scale, I'm going to make this bold by clicking it here, and then I'm going to underline this part by clicking it here, so it will resemble the paper version of the scale. Okay, so now we're done with the left side. Let's move on to the right hand side, and again we need to select a question type. So this is going to be an array question, so I'm going to select the first one, array question, right here, and I would like it to be mandatory. I'll select it as mandatory. In advanced setting, the only thing I would like to change is the SPSS export style type, because it's this scale, so I'm going to select scale, and then that's it. You're going to leave everything else as it is. So now save and close. So now we just added a new instruction for PCL5, but we didn't add any questions yet. So this is what we're going to do next. We're going to add sub-questions to this scale. So we're going to click right here, edit sub-questions, which will bring you to this page. Looks very much like the previous question we work on when we work on answer options, but this time we're going to add questions. So the code here is almost like a suffix of your variable for PCL5. So I recommend to call it SQ1 as a sub question 1 for PCL5, so you can distinguish one question from the other after data have been exported to SPSS data R or any other softwares. So, so the first question, I'm just going to enter it here. This is the code, almost like a variable name for this sub-question. So we're just going to copy and paste it here. And you can continue to add the next question by clicking it here. So this will be SQ2, sub-question number 2. So we'll do the same. And here in this box, you need to enter 1. Relevance equation is kind of a function to tell LimeSurvey to show this question or to hide this question. The default is 1, so, which means true. That means we want this question to appear in our survey. So you need to put 1 in each of the following box for each of your sub-questions. So now I've entered all 20 items of PCL5 here. So all 20 items are all here with the code on the left and the text on the right, the sub-questions on the right. And I've all entered 1 under relevant equation. So all the sub-questions will be shown in the survey. So this is how you edit the sub-questions, how to add your items of a scale in LimeSurvey. And now we need to save and close. So now we edit all the items in in LimeSurvey. We need to edit answer options. So we need to enter the answer options by clicking Edit Answer Options right here, this button. In this interface, we're going to enter the value, the code, and the answer option for this particular scale. And the way we do it would be very similar as in our list radio question in tutorial number 3. So we're going to do quick add. So 1 semicolon, not at all. So 1 answer per line, and the value, the code, is separated by a semicolon from your text. So 2 would be a little bit per line. Number 3, semicolon, moderately. 4, semicolon, quite a bit. And last option, 5, semicolon, extremely. Extremely. Okay, so now just need to click add. And because the first one we didn't enter anything, and this should not be here, we're gonna delete this option by clicking the garbage bin here. So now these are our answer options with their corresponding values for this particular scale PCL5. 1 as not at all, 2 as a little bit, 3 as moderately, 4 as quite a bit, 5 as extremely. Okay, so that's it for this section, editing answer options. Now we're gonna save and close. So let's take a look at how this scale looks like in the survey by preview this question. So here we go. This is our instructions for PCL5, and here's the questions, the sub-questions on the left, and we have our options on the right, and you can click here to select each answer. So there we go. This is how you can set up array questions in LimeSurvey. As you can see here, sometimes your sub-questions are a little bit long, and it doesn't look very good when it's all clumped together. So we can adjust that by editing the text width. So this is how we can do it. We'll go back to the question summary page for PCL5 right here, and then we click edit. And in advanced settings, there's a display called sub-question width. This is where you can define the text width for your sub-questions. You can play around with the numbers. Usually it's between 1 to 100. Let's try 50 and see what it does. So I'm gonna save and close. Now we'll go back to preview question to take a look what it looks like now. Oh, it looks a little bit better. It's less crowded and gives you different questions and with a pretty good length. I think 50 is a good fit and it fits in the page pretty well as well. And the options on the right are pretty clear. So I'm gonna keep 50 for this particular scale. So you can change the text width in advanced settings to play around with the numbers to find the best display for your sub-questions. Okay, so that's that for setting up array questions in LimeSurvey. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know.